Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of On It. I am Mikey. That is Devin.
Damn, I wish I could remember what we talked about. I couldn't even remember what we talked about the Super Bowl.
If it has to come down to that, or I just seem like a hater to get my point across, I'll do it. What's a football move?
He opened the back flap of the passenger seat and threw up in it. It's called a Weston kangaroo pouch. I don't know what Adrian Peterson's year looked like after he ran for 2K. Oh, never mind.
Is the University of Florida bust university?
Oh my God, he missed it!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of On It. I am here because you just got me, no Devin or Kevin. But we are here to talk about a little bit of wrestling, and we did have a full episode. We had a full episode recorded. Me and Kevin, we talked all about WrestleMania Night 2. Brock retiring, Roman becoming the new World Heavyweight Champ. All and then I guess the WrestleMania Night 2 meat. I guess that was the bread. If we're talking about the Night 2 sandwich, that was the bread, and then you got the shit in the middle. But that's besides the point. We are here, and I got some things to talk about. I will touch on certain Night 2 things, especially for things that relate to what happened on this Raw after WrestleMania, which, am I crazy to say? And I know it may just be flat out stupid, but I think Raw after Mania was better than Mania. I'm sorry. At least night one. At least in night one, you gotta 100% just agree. Like, it was better than night one. If you want to combine the two and say no, it's just it powers. It just overpowers it because it's WrestleMania, maybe. But in terms of just enjoying a WWE product, I mean, I would say Monday Night Raw is definitely up there in contention for WrestleMania 42, which is a shame because I'm obviously Night 2 was a lot better than Night 1, but I'm not in the crowd that believes, I'm not with the crowd that believes it saved WrestleMania. You can't give us like the most shit product ever, or the worst example of a night of WrestleMania, and then give us something a little bit better, and then it's like, well, you saved it, good job. Like, just give us two really good nights and we don't have to complain. But that's besides the point. But what I wanted to get into is a few things that went down on Raw, a few things that went down on night 2 of WrestleMania, and then I think I want to I ranked the Mania matches. I think I have my ranking. I sat on it. I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure how I feel about it 100%, but I do have a ranking for the Mania matches. But what I want to get into first, I guess to kick off Monday Night Raw, we had CM Punk come out, which I will say, him coming out and pretty much making it clear that he's not going anywhere kind of caught me by surprise. I thought he would go on some type of break, like maybe I don't know, probably be back for Clash, but at this rate, I don't know how Cody's gonna be or what's going on, but he's moving at a pace where he could be fighting in Backlash. But regardless, I'm glad he's not going anywhere, and I'm kind of confused on rules in the WWE at this point, but I also realize that no rules make sense anymore. Like, why is he just waiting? He says, well, you never know, you might get another championship opportunity. Does he not have a rematch? Do we not live in a world where in the WWE you lose and you get and I know it's been forgotten about before, but this is the main event of WrestleMania and they don't even have a conversation about, like, hey, like I lost. I deserve I deserve a rematch. I don't know what the deal is with that, because I feel like you could I don't know. I guess they told enough of the story with Punk and Roman there, and it was a good ending. But at the end of the day, I mean, you could easily have it to where it's like Punk loses to Roman because of something Jey Uso does or something, and then boom, program with Jey Uso. Because I don't know what was up with that promo where he made a comment about I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was some along the lines of, if I wasn't here, you guys would just be stuck eating or something along the lines of that. And then everybody like boos that, and he's like, "Don't boo that. I like Jey Uso. I'm not hating on Jey Uso." Yeah, you are. What do you mean you're not hating on that? Is saying it. Oh, well, y'all would just stuck here. Y'all would just be stuck here eating. If you're not hating, I mean, why even say that? That'd be a good thing. You'd be okay with everybody stuck eating. But regardless, that was a small little thing that had to do with this promo, because then you had Cody Rhodes coming out, and Cody looked so gross. His eye. I mean, I just shit on the man's looks, but Cody Rhodes, his eye was just black and blue and purple and just a monstrosity of an eyeball. But he comes out, and him and Cody, they have another one of those friendly conversations that they've been having recently. They just had one on Friday Night SmackDown to close out, the go home show for Mania, and now they're kind of doing the same thing here, except it's obviously it's after Mania. And where what I'm confused is, and maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just them trying to plant these seeds. And sorry, Lakers won. I'm not a Lakers fan, but the Lakers beat the Rockets. Time to turn that TV off. But what I am confused about is what they are trying to do here, because obviously we're getting this Cody Rhodes CM Punk match, which, first of all, what is up with Roman? Hopefully we're addressing that at some point. I know there were rumors of him going, even before this match, that he was going to that match hurt. I don't know if he's taking some time off, but I'm going to assume they're going to resume their beef at some point. Maybe it's gonna take a while and they don't bring things back up till SummerSlam, but that's still like a long ass time. And I feel like people would be even more over the Cody title reign by then. I feel like they need to pull that trigger a little bit quicker, like maybe have a clash. I don't know, because Cody's banged up. I think this Cody injury is definitely hindering some things, because Cody's healthy. You could run this Punk Cody match at Backlash. Because Punk's not taking the undisputed title right after he dropped the World Heavyweight title. And I don't know what direction Punk's going to go into after this, but I mean, if you look at just the feuds with Drew and Seth, he can pretty much just pick anybody he wants in the back and go on a couple months of just an entertaining feud. But I'm not mad at Cody and Punk, coming together and fighting. Obviously, this whole friendly thing and the Cody loser thing, it's leading to something. Problem is, I'm worried it's just going to be exactly what happened with Randy Orton. And no, not like Pat McAfee coming out, but more so the fans are just not going to boo CM Punk, which it's going to be even harder to get fans to boo Punk than Randy, because Randy, you write a good story to make Randy heel and make it make sense. You could have Randy booed before he entered like his just legend phase, where like it just, no matter what he is doing in that ring, he is getting cheered. With Punk, I mean, the man had his name chanted for a decade. He's like nothing but a good guy now, and he always says like, "Oh, it's better to be." He likes being a heel more, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard to turn CM Punk heel. I think it's gonna be even harder to turn CM Punk heel. And considering how hard it was for them to turn Randy, I guess, more heel or try to get the fans to turn against him, and how bad it worked, and how bad their attempt was, I'm really afraid of what they could do with CM Punk. Because here's the thing, we could just be pulling a whole WWE Unreal story out of this, and who knows? Is Pat McAfee actually done with WWE? Are we really looking at the two guys who were talking the most shit to Pat, being, coming together to fight, and Pat somehow not involved? That's kind of what I'm worried about, because they're not going to pull the trigger on Cody turning heel. They're just not going to do it. Even though his match with Randy, I mean, he was heel tactics the entire match, attacking the injury, the eye poke, the low blow. Right. Cody Rhodes was playing the heel in that damn match. I guess and the only thing we can really do is I'm gonna look at this like after Mania and Cody Rhodes is still the champ. This is like Act 2, the second chapter of this championship, this title reign. We had what we had since he won it back from Drew in the build up to Mania and the Mania. Now let's hope that we can get something good between him and Punk. We can get something good between him and Randy if they decide to, go back to that story that I'm hoping they go back to. To be completely honest with you, I would really, 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 really hope they hold off on Roman and Oba Femi, because the fact that they are already, lighting that fire is crazy. Cody and Oba Femi, I don't know. Y'all, I don't know how y'all felt about it, but was it Saturday Night Main Event? Was that when they fought? That's why I wish somebody was here to fact check me. But whenever they went, whenever the Oba Femi and Cody Rhodes match happened, it was a great match, and them two going down. The thing is, Oba's so over. WWE would never do this. So you make Cody Rhodes heel. Cody Rhodes versus the most over Femi. That's what I'm like. He ain't Oba Femi. He's over Femi. Heel Cody Rhodes versus over Femi. Yeah, give me that. That's something you could sink your fucking teeth into. But I don't know what they do after Cody goes and takes on Punk, and then probably Randy again. They're gonna have to cook something up. But I need them to not mess this up. This is obviously like a legacy type matchup, a fantasy type matchup. Where if we can get a way to get Punk to be more on a heel side, and we can get some good promos between the two, and then get a great match between the two, I think we know Cody's going to retain. This isn't the type of opponent he will drop it to. So that's all we need is for them to not fuck it up. And at this point, it's sad that this is, what I'm about to say is true, but that's a big ask for WWE to not fuck up. But it is what it is. Moving on to Brock Lesnar. He retired. I wasn't sure how else to go into that, but we didn't really get to. I didn't get to cover it because we did cover it in the scrapped episode, because it caught me and Kevin by surprise. I think we all had our minds locked in on him retiring at SummerSlam in his hometown. But what I did forget, and I do remember, maybe it was CVV. I'm not sure. I think he brought it up. Was it just John Cena who said he thought Brock was retiring, or said Brock was retiring at SummerSlam? Because if that's true, if that's the case, then we all know John Cena's a liar. He's full of shit 99.8% of the time. So I don't even know why we thought that was going on, but I think the Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar match was beautiful. It wasn't a complete squash, on Oba's side. It was them locking up in the beginning and just having a stalemate. And I heard somebody say, I can't remember who it was. They were like, that doesn't make sense. Brock was getting his ass kicked, this entire build up, and now they're just locked up, and he's driving him back. It's a lockup. Like, we're telling a story here. Let's build up some hype and some suspension, some suspense here. Like, let's put on a little bit of a show. I like the lockup. And then you had Brock trying to just give his all to take Oba Femi down, not going for it at all. Oba, takes over, and then you got at some point Brock out on the outside of the ring, pissed off, throwing shit around. Then he takes advantage of things. Kind of scary the way he threw him at the stairs, and that shit was kind of pointed out, but it's all right. Oba twisted, he adjusted. They get back in the ring. You get your suplex city. You get to see Brock throw Oba around, and which is I like that Oba was able to win. Oba was able to dominate, but then at the same time, it wasn't just so in our face. Like, well, Brock hasn't had a single second of offense, so who's losing this match. But then obviously the F5 that Brock hits pretty much does nothing to Oba Femi. Gets back up, choke slam, and then fall from grace, if I'm remembering correct. Choke slam and then fall from grace. 1, 2, 3. And then Brock Lesnar strips down to his Hanes socks in the middle of the ring and retires. And there's two things about this. First thing, I am on the side that I think this is real. I think he is done. And I think in the most perfect world, he didn't tell anybody. Like, he didn't tell anybody from TKO, and they're fucking pissed because they couldn't milk this for months and get more money out of this. And he knew the route they were taking with him and Gunther, and he made the choice to put Oba over instead of Gunther, which Oba is literally his mic drop on Raw was so perfect. He is so over. I don't even know what they're gonna do with him. I see why they're trying to get him to just go for Roman right now, because you could give him 1,000-day reign now. You throw a strap on him and give him 1,000-day title reign right now. There's no reason until people get sick of him, until people cannot stand him. And it's gonna take a very fucking long time. I don't know. It was all perfect. The Brock retirement, and that's another thing. The fact that it wasn't spoiled. The fact that we didn't have him going into this match going, if I lose, I don't belong here, like Roman fucking Reigns did the day before their match. He's going on interviewing Michael Cole. Well, if I lose this match, I think my work here is done. I don't know if I belong here. Like, way to fucking spoil the movie, Tom Holland, Roman Holland. I don't know what their deal is with that, but I thought the Brock retirement was perfect. And what is pissing me off about all this is you had Gunther end the careers of John Cena and AJ Styles and Goldberg, I guess, all for nothing, because they had to scrap the Rey. I guess they were gonna. There was no way Rey Mysterio, even if he was hurt. I know a lot of people are joking and saying he wasn't hurt. He just didn't want to retire. He could just not retire. Like, I don't think anybody has gunned to his head like, you're gonna take this retirement match versus Gunther. I think he was genuinely hurt, and then they had already had to set shit up, and he was not in WrestleMania until like a week before. Was it the final SmackDown? It was either the final SmackDown or the final Raw. Was it the final fucking Raw? Whenever he came in, the man came in last second. So you have that, and then you had the fact that Gunther is probably not going to be retiring Brock Lesnar now, even though I have seen the idea, which I'm not fully opposed to. And I think it's a little more interesting. Like Gunther coming out and saying John Cena is a bitch after making him tap for weeks, kind of boring. If we have Brock doing this, he retires on his own, and then Gunther comes out for a month or two, just calling Brock a bitch and talking the most shit, and then eventually we have Brock return for one more match where we already got, like, here's the thing. If you can't get over the fact that a wrestler retired, fought again, and then retired for real, or retired again, like, if you haven't been able to swallow that pill by now, I don't know if you ever will be able to, and I'm sorry, but that is just a thing that happens, and that's a thing that you can at least appreciate, that you had this moment where Brock retired, and if he comes back, hopefully you could get a good match between him and Gunther at SummerSlam. Regardless, I prefer him to just stay retired. And also, we're going to have to retire that career killer gimmick, because I mean, or at least, like I said, you're going to have to put it on the shelf. You can only bring that out when it's time to have, when you have a fresh batch of guys ready to retire. So when Ray is ready to go, and fucking, I don't know, Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton, whoever's ready to go in 5 years, sure, you can have Gunther come out and retire. But guess who else might be ready to retire in 5 years? Gunther. So I don't know. Brock Lesnar is gone. Oba Femi is over more than literally anybody on this planet right now. And it's absolutely beautiful. Roman Reigns is the World Heavyweight Champion, though. And I'm not mad at it, because that man went on a post conference and said that he was here to stay, essentially. He said to make room. He said none of that part-timer bullshit. He's going to be here the whole summer, so way to spoil that you're losing at SummerSlam again. Thanks. But if he is here from now to SummerSlam, I would have expected more of just a super light schedule, appearing here and there. And I will say, him appearing on Raw now, it's the day after his match, so it didn't take him much to just go to sleep, wake up, and go across the street to a different arena for Monday Night Raw. So he's going to have to stay consistent. He's going to have to show up every week and be cutting these promos and doing his thing, especially now that he's got this shit going on with Jacob Fatu, which I love. I love it a lot. I thought the person who won between Seth and Gunther should have deserved the, number one contender spot for the world title on Raw. That is not the case. It's Jacob Fatu, and I like that. I like that this is a great start off to Roman's reign, and I've already seen people talk about how they don't, you can't turn Fatu into Jey Uso, and I feel like they've already laid that out for us. You had Fatu come out and say, you already had Fatu come out and pretty much make it clear that he's not coming out here to acknowledge Roman Reigns, and he simply just needs that World Heavyweight title, and Roman Reigns is the one who is holding it. And I mean, you could just hear it from the crowd. You could see it in all three you could see it in the Usos and Roman Reigns' face, how hyped they were just for Fatu cutting his promo. And I don't know where they go with all of this, because Roman Reigns is playing this weird, like, nice guy thing where it's like, hey, I don't want you guys to be my servants, but, rock with me, family, which is not going to last forever. We know this nice guy bullshit he's going to flip at some point. And the whole Jacob Fatu shit, I know they're going to try, maybe tease him trying to tell him to fall in line or whatever, but the way that Jacob is talking, it's like, no, like we're related, like that's cool, but like he listed the things that he's worried about, the things that he needs. He's not worried about joining y'all and being a fucking yes man. And he also broke out of that shell. There was a Bloodline 2.0. He had to break out of that shell and not be a part of that group anymore. Like, we are fine with a solo run out of Jacob Fatu, which is exactly what we need. And him going on him versus Roman at Backlash in Tampa. I'm gonna be excited because I get to see this shit live. I like it. We get to see Roman on I stand corrected. I was wrong. I thought. I mean, I was talking mad shit, saying like actually specifically said, "You think we're gonna see Roman Reigns at Backlash?" No. And we are. We are absolutely gonna see Roman Reigns at Backlash. Now, mind you, he live close to Tampa? I don't know. If I had to take a guess, I'd assume probably, but maybe it's not that big of an ask. But I like it. I like this. I like this a lot. I don't think he's gonna be a Jey Uso and fall in line. I think we're gonna have you have no choice but to have a good match or an entertaining match when Jacob Fatu is out there, and you're gonna have Roman out there. We know, we know, we know who's winning that match. We know who's going to win that match. But at the same time, it is entertaining. It is a fantasy matchup. It is something worth watching, and I'm here for it. Anything else on Monday Night Raw? So Ruka debuting. I mean, what you want me to say? We've been waiting for Sol Ruka to debut. And she's had a crazy last women's standing match and a nasty bump. Jesus Christ, I don't know. She's definitely in concussion protocol right now. But Sol Ruka debuting, having a match versus Liv Morgan, obviously losing, but her moveset, putting on an absolute clinic out there. She is going to be. Hopefully they pick a good program with her. Hopefully maybe by, I don't even know how long we got to wait to get her in a program with like Becky Lynch for the IC title. We know AJ's leaving. We know we're going to need somebody interesting to, like it might be early, I know, but I mean, we can't act like Kevin Owens didn't exist. Like so Ruka can come out here and easily start beefing with Becky Lynch over that IC title. Penta versus Javon is coming soon with Ethan Page possibly involved. I don't think there's anything wrong with Javon Evans' like promo skills or mic work. He just and I know it sounds like I'm about to go on a Kevin Nash angle, and I'm not. He just seems like too nice. Like he's like I want to see like he needs to be like Penta and Javon Evans. Like these are just like two like really nice guys, and Penta like he's never gonna get booed, honestly. And I think Javon Evans, I don't even necessarily want to see him get booed because you don't need to have a heel face for this, this matchup. But in the future, just a little bit of a mean streak, a little bit of an attitude. It's because it's almost like kind of goofy when he's talking shit to Ethan Page or whatever. It's interesting because I don't obviously he ain't going heel. He's as over as anybody else. But I want to see bro get a little aggressive. And the Vision sucks. Vision still sucks. We need to see Braun Breaker leave and be his own man, because we obviously the only thing we want to see is Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. Think about what's been going on with the Vision while there's been no Braun Breaker. It was, I guess, led by Bronson Reed, and he tears his bicep, and then you have Austin Theory and Logan Paul winning tag team gold and then holding it hostage and not yet to defend it. And I know it hasn't been that long, but they didn't defend it at Mania because they had to bring Speed out to have a 6-man tag team match. So that's what we've had so far with that. We've ended the LA Knight Vision chapter of this WWE book. So I think at some point I think at this point the Vision is still here for Seth or Braun to take down. That's all. That's all it is. But yeah, I think that's all I got for Raw. Monday Night Raw and the Raw after Mania. It was great. Hopefully SmackDown at least tries to compete. Like they got to fight back a little bit because this Raw after Mania was beautiful. So a good way to kick off the uh the 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 next season, I guess, of 2026 in the WWE. So I got a ranking for WrestleMania 42. I took all 13 matches, and I am a liar. I will say I'm a liar because I didn't do 1 through 13. I did the top 10 matches. So the 3 matches that were left out, um, I won't even tell you. I guess you're gonna have to find out when you listen to the top 10, and if it was left out and you're mad about it, I'm sorry. But maybe it could be as simple as just what the best match was, but obviously I got to include like outside factors and the build to the match and everything else. But I guess to start the top 10 off, the top 10 matches from WrestleMania 42. Number 10, we got Drew versus Fatu. Drew McIntyre taking on Jacob Fatu in an unsanctioned match. And I wrote down a few things over here, and I think it could have been a little higher. It could have been, I don't know, 8 maybe at its highest. But it was a little too gimmicky for me. Like, in terms of like, the wrench in the eyeball, or then you had Fatu getting his hands on the belt and kind of really just getting his ultimate get back on Drew. It was still a good match in terms of, I mean, Fatu was taking some crazy bumps on the inside and outside of that ring. But they did the right thing happened at the end of this match, and that was Jacob Fatu winning this match. A beautiful ending to the match. It probably could have used a little more time, like most of the matches on this list. And maybe even a little more time would have balanced out the time they had to wrestle and spend time more putting on like a show with the belt and the wrench, and having it more of a spectacle rather than a high paced match. But that's number 10. And number 9, I got Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. And I think I didn't want to put it over Jacob Fatu and Drew, but I think it was a little less gimmicky, and for the gimmicks it did have, it was a payoff. It was a payoff. Like, I know Jacob grabbing the belt and slapping Drew around is a payoff, but like, first of all, we don't even be having refs getting involved like that, at least nowadays. So to have Jessica Carr finally kind of get her revenge on Becky Lynch, which it really would have made more sense if this was an Elimination Chamber when AJ Lee won, but sure, whatever. She has her beef with her. And Becky was playing a great heel, trying to attack the exposed turnbuckle and whatnot, and there was still some wrestling involved. They were able to sneak some wrestling in there too, believe it or not, on WrestleMania. So it's there's nothing crazy, and that's why it's number 9. Number 8, and I don't know if this is gonna upset people, but a big reason why it's at number 8, the reason why it may be so low on this list is because I expected more, and it needed a little bit more. And if there were like 3 matches I had to pick that absolutely needed more time, Liv and Steph, they'd be on this. They'd be on this match. So Liv Morgan and Stephanie Valkyrie, I thought they were gonna just go out there and beat the absolute shit out of each other, which they still put on an absolute great match. And it got to a point where, I mean, okay, you had the interfering that it didn't really change anything, or at a point, like when they first come out, you think, all right, here we go, and then boom, Steph kicks out, and it leaves just a little bit of suspense for a match that was pretty predictable, for a match but just the build alone, it was making it harder to predict, because I thought they might have pulled a Stratton from last year and changed their mind last second after all the crowd reaction. But luckily for Liv Morgan, she wasn't Charlotte Flair. because they hated her a year ago. So I think more than anything, this was a good match, but I thought it was going to be like an argument for top 3, and it just wasn't. Number 7, I got Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. And first of all, making it a street fight, great idea, like great move, great pull. This is exactly what they needed. And a subtle thing, JD couldn't come out and help because he was dead from the ladder match. So I know that may have not even been on purpose. Like, that might not even been something intentional, but kind of something that me and Kevin, I remember talking about him with, and it was, we were like, well, it's just him. He's solo tonight because bro is going to be written off of TV. And then JD had a match on Raw. Fucking crazy. Or did he have a match, or did he? No, he had a match. Fucking fought Finn Balor. What am I talking? I'm stupid. Sorry. I was thinking about the other guys that intervened or interfered with Javon's match, but it was great. I love that it was a street fight. If it wasn't a street fight, it probably wouldn't even made the top 10 list. But for the bumps they were taking, for the shit that Finn Balor was taking, the table spots that he was eating and getting in the spots that he was getting right back up from, the 619 with the chair, the coup de grace through the damn table to end it all. It was an entertaining match. I liked it, and it was number 7. Number 6, Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. Now, this was Jade's best match her entire title reign, and this pisses me off because sometimes champs will do this. You have a champ once in a while that'll have a really shitty title reign, and then the night they're dropping it, they just put on an absolute fucking show. And I get it's WrestleMania, and obviously she wanted to put on a show regardless, but like, come on. I can't stop thinking about just that spine buster that she hit Rhea with. I mean, just the force of that spine buster alone. It's just it was beautiful. I enjoyed this match. I think this is another match that could have used some more time. I think this was even more predictable and left some suspense. Like, for a match that was so predictable, I want to say that until Rhea hit that final reversal, it was hard. It was hard to call. It was really hard to call. For a split second in my mind, it's like, oh, she's about to get pinned, and there she goes, reversal. And I don't know. I liked it, and my expectation for it was low, and it easily beat my expectations. Oba and Brock, number 5. Sorry, I struggled a lot. I wanted to put it 3, 4, and 5 are tough for me. And I eventually decided that 3 was 3 because 4 and 5 simply did not deserve it. Now, Oba and Brock, I said this earlier, it was a great match. It was a short match. It was a match that didn't need more time because they did enough in that to tell all parts of their story. You have the stalemate fucking lockup in the beginning. You have Brock doing his all to take Oba down, and Oba's not going for it. You have Oba pissing off Brock and Rock's outside of the ring, throwing shit around. And then you finally have Brock getting some offense in, getting him throwing Brock around. And I know there were people out there that were going, oh, shit. Oh, no. Because, for somebody who got up from an F5 right away, he was bumping around a little bit. He was bumping around a little bit with those suplexes. But, I think after that, obviously, like I said, you eat the F5, get up, choke slam, fall from grace, 1, 2, 3. It was a great build. It probably wasn't the best build for a Mania match. Probably the best build out of all the Mania matches. And I'm just gonna put it nice, sweet number 5. And number 4 may upset even more people, because I could see people putting Oba and Brock over this, even though there's no reason it shouldn't. There's no reason this match should even be this low, but it was, and it's Cody and Randy. Now, too much happened, I guess, for me to drop it too much lower. I mean, just from taking Pat out immediately and fucking having him eat a jelly roll splash through a commentary table, and the match itself, the mental part of it, nice. Cody Rhodes working as the heel. Is Randy hurt? I don't know. Here he is again with a bad back. I don't know. It's Randy Orton. It got really boring. And they were able to heat it up, but they needed a couple of those moments juiced up in between, because it was like boring, started bleeding, boring, and then we started getting the ball rolling. We started stealing some moves. We started moving at a quicker pace. But then the ref bump with Cody, once again, a high poke working as a heel. Ref bump, ref RKO, Cody RKO, Pat RKO, Randy gets hit with Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. To my surprise, I maybe I'm crazy, but I thought he was gonna kick out. I thought after all that, he still was going to kick out of that pin, but he didn't. And the ending got me. I got to put it at 4, and I'm not even going to explain much why number 3 is number 3. If you can't understand why that ladder match was number 3, especially on this fucking Mania card compared to all of these matches, you're stupid. Sorry. It was a great match. It was a beautiful match. I mean, just JD absolutely getting destroyed on that Mexican Destroyer. Javon with his cutter. Ray destroying his body and then taking Rusev through a ladder. It's just there were so many great spots from that. That was the one match from start to finish that had you on your feet. And I know it's a ladder match. I know it should, but still, it's WrestleMania, and there's only 2 matches that I think truly were better than them, and that's just let's get to them. Number 2, Gunther and Seth Rollins. These boys put on a clinic, like I said they would, and you know what they did this with? No build, no reason to fight, no story. 2-3 weeks out till Mania, fuck it, we're gonna have these 2 guys link up and fight, and guess what they're gonna do? Put Mania on their back for a minute and let these 2 cook, because between Seth just destroying his body and taking all those damn chops, and the just amount of times he was landing on those damn knees with all that pressure, with all that impact, and them just not exploding alone. That alone, beautiful. I loved it. I would say if there was a clean finish to this match, if you don't have, obviously Braun Breaker being involved in this, the curb stomp on the goddamn commentary table. If you don't have Braun Breaker involved in this, and there was and they had to cook up an ending for this that was just clean, might have been number 1, but the most predictable interference of all time had to drop it to number 2, unfortunately. And number 1, I think, is pretty obvious. I don't know what else it could be, but I know it might be cliche, and I know it might be a bailout or lazy or obvious, but it was the main event, and it deserved it. It deserved to be the main event, and it earned the number 1 spot. Roman Reigns and CM Punk had the best match out of WrestleMania 42, and just everything. The build was okay. The promos were weird, but they were talking their shit. And then you get to this match, and the tension between them, and them getting each other's faces and backing up and going at it, and just the moments of them, just slapping each other back and forth, or them just laying on the mat and looking at each other, and just all the emotion that was going into this match alone. Cinema, hello. But I mean, when you have all of these the commentary table spots and Punk just absolutely butchering his forehead in the corner of the screen, it was great. It wasn't just Roman beating up an old dude like you could have done. It was Punk. Honestly, I want to say at the least it was before he was hanging upside down and eating 3 Superman punches, which, what are we doing? Is it like a Superman punch at this Superman punch at this point is like a super kick. That's it. Like that the amount the amount of impact it really causes. But before he ate those 3 Superman punches hanging upside down, it felt like it was like 50-50. They were both getting the better of the best of each other, or the better of each other, and they were going back and forth, and it was good. It wasn't a snooze fest like Randy and Cody was, because there was a point where I was struggling to fucking stay awake. I don't know when countouts and DQs became like not a thing, because the stairs to CM Punk should have been a DQ. The ref just didn't count them out like at all. They just gave up on that. And I think Cole even tried. They tried this bullshit where Cole's like, well, the ref's giving them some leeway in the main event here. What is that? What do you know? It's like, that's why we have like a Bloodline rules match. I don't know why we're giving Roman Reigns leeway. He's Roman Reigns. That's CM Punk. He don't need stairs. He doesn't need stairs. But it was still the best match of the night. It was it felt like an actual WrestleMania match. It had the length of a WrestleMania match. It had just all just, it was a Mania that just ended clean. Like last year we had Mania end with Travis Scott, gross. Or the year before that, we have the greatest ending maybe ever, but still a lot of shit going on. Not, just simple shit. So, and then obviously the year before that, when Cody was not able to finish the story, still a lot of shit going on. This right here though was just a nice ending. A nice, like, they told the story in that ring when Punk tried to hit him with that second GTS, couldn't end that match there. 1, 2, 3, beautiful. And it was the best match out of all matches from WrestleMania 42. But I think that's it. I think I talked about everything I want to talk about for Monday Night Raw. I gave y'all my top 10 matches from WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk are about to feud. Brock Lesnar is retired, I think. And Roman is World Heavyweight Champ, and he's here to stay for a little bit, which I won't be too petty about it. I'm gonna appreciate it. Because there will be people that will still complain that Roman Reigns was only here for 3 months and then left to a Rumble. So we are lucky. So I will be looking forward to that. But that's all I gotta say. With all that being said, it is time to get out of here. Brand new episodes are Tuesdays and Saturdays, usually with a wrestling sprinkled in on like a Wednesday, like today. But hopefully you did enjoy this episode, and hopefully next time I discuss wrestling, we have Kevin back over here talking with us. But I will be back on Saturday with Devin to talk this NFL draft, NFL Jeopardy. But the NFL draft for sure. Hopefully there's some good stories, some good news. Wherever Jeremiah Love's going, I'm not sure. But it has been me. It has been real. and I am out.